Okay, so at this point, we're going to want to graph our data and present it visually. So we go back to our Excel spreadsheet, as we see here. Let's see, we've calculated our means for proboscis length and body mass for each of the species. We have the mode and medians. I have to show you how to do standard deviation. I'll do that a bit later, but ignore these values for now. Let's just generate a simple graph, right, based on this data. So let's close the formula builder so we have some more space. And let's go to charts. All right, now what I'd like to do is make a chart, in this case a graph, of the two separate species, a Cytherea and a Basiloides, and we're going to graph the mean values of the proboscis length. So we're going to focus over here for now. All right, so let's highlight these. Okay, we've highlighted our means and our species names, and we go to column graph. All right, we're going to do a clustered column, and there we go. Put this over here. You can see we've got our two species names here. We have this mysterious Series 1 label. We probably will want to get rid of that, and we need to fix up this graph a little bit. Alright, so first off, let's go to chart layout. Okay, see what I did? Charts, chart layout. We want to insert a title. There we go. What do we have? As you can see, I'm not such a good typist. And let's copy this. Let's get these species names. So there we go. And we'll put them over here in the title. These really should be italicized, but let's move on. Okay. Good. Now, we can also fix up the axes label. So go to chart layout again, go to axes title. I want the vertical axis. In this case, let's do this, and we will have an axis title of proboscis length. And we need to include the units, obviously. You guys know this from middle school. So what are we looking at here? Those look like millimeters to me. Okay, and then we also should include the uncertainty, which we spent so much time on earlier. Plus slash minus 0.1 millimeter close bracket. Okay, great. So there we go. Now you can fiddle around with this. You should add, let's get rid of this over here. Thump. And let's add a axis title for the horizontal axis, title below. And this should be butterfly species. Okay. Now the other thing that's funny about this, right, is in this case, if I were looking at this, I'd say it's a bit misleading because they're showing a pretty compressed axis here, right? And it looks like there's a massive difference between the two. I think in this case I'd prefer to have the entire 0 to value range for the axis. So let's take a look. Format axis. Let's go over here. All right, we've got minimum 23 or minimum 20. What we want is minimum 0. Okay, and there you can see it's auto adjusted everything, and we can see that really their averages are not that different from one another when you look at it. Okay, so that's putting together a graph. Now, be careful, make sure that you follow all the rules that you learned in middle school, 9th to 10th grade, regarding how to construct proper graphs, showing units on the axes labels, all of this. All right, in this instance, we're dealing with two discrete data sets, the lengths for Cytherea and the lengths for Basiloides, and in this case, we obviously chose a column, clustered column graph. All right, so great. Okay.